Tarkir Dragonstorm is shaking up the secondary market, so much so that this week we have a massive two-part episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. This video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Right now, you can order Tarkir Dragonstorm, pre-order Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy, or find a vast number of other great items on their website. Remember, shipping is free in the US if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles. Just look in the description or comment section below for direct links to their site. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to another episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. Like I said in the cold open, Tarkir Dragonstorm is making huge ripples in the secondary market, so this is part one of a special two-part market watch. In this episode, we'll be looking at the cold and hot cards numbers 30 through 16, but don't worry, tomorrow we'll be back with part two, and we'll look at the top 15 cold as well as hot cards to wrap things up. As always, our lists are based on two pieces of criteria: the percentage change in the value of the cards, as well as the change in the number of sales from week to week. We'll quickly look at the cold cards and spend a little more time on the cards moving up in price. Quickly before we get into it though, I do want to say thank you to one of our gold patrons, and that is Todd Branch. Todd, thank you for all your support on Patreon, through all the generous super thanks tips you've given the channel. It all goes a very, very long way. I truly appreciate it, Todd. Thank you for your support. And now without any further ado, let's get into it. We'll begin with the coldest cards of the week, part one. Most of our cold cards this week are from Tarkir Dragonstorm products, which isn't too surprising since the set and commander decks came out last week. A lot of product is being opened, so cards are getting into players' hands, which is diluting demand, even if some of them are highly played cards. In part one, we're going to be looking at the cold cards ranging from numbers 30 through 16, starting with number 30, Redoubled Stormsinger. This is down 203 to 350, that's a 37% decrease. It's from the Tarkir Dragonstorm Mardu Surge commander deck. Number 29 is from Tarkir Dragonstorm's main set, Stormscale Scion. Down 208 this week to 729, that's a 22% decrease. Number 28, Will of the Jeskai, down 230 to 373, that's a 38% decrease. This one is from the Tarkir Dragonstorm Jeskai Striker commander deck. Number 27, Taiga Master Opportunist, down 236 this week to 264, that's a 47% decrease. Number 26, Transcendent Dragon, down 252 to 248, that is a 50% decrease. This is another one from the Jeskai Striker deck. Coming in at number 25, Afterlife from the Loam, down 265 to 439, that's a 38% decrease. This one is from the Tarkir Dragonstorm Sultai Arisen commander deck. Number 24, Nature's Rhythm, down 270 to $3.30, that's a 45% decrease. Number 23, Will of the Sultai, down 279 to 250, that's a 53% decrease. This one is from Sultai Arisen. Number 22, Enoch Strike Leader, down 283 to 366, that's a 44% decrease. This is found in Mardu Surge. Number 21, Tabal's Judgment, down 289 to 687, that's a 30% decrease. This is from Sultai Arisen. Alright, a week ago, this was spiking wildly due to its interaction with the Secret Lair card Deadpool trading card, and it came in at number 2 on the hot list. Last week it arrived on the cold list at number 3 as it retracted some in an attempt to find its proper price point. This week it dropped 17 spots to number 20. It's the Master Multiplied, down 302 to 1697, that's a 15% decrease. It's from the Doctor Who Masters of Evil commander deck. Number 19, Tempest Technique, down 307 to 225, that's a 58% decrease. This one is from Jeskai Striker. Number 18, Voice of Victory, down 317 to 1383, that's a 19% decrease. Number 17, Voracious Bibliophile, down 327 to $3.07, that's a 52% decrease. This one is from Jeskai Striker. And number 16, Taval Arbiter of Virtue, down 329 this week to $2.50, that's a 57% decrease. Alright, in part 2, we'll see the top 15 cold cards, but now it is time to talk about hot cards. Again, in part 1, we're only looking at numbers 30 through 16, but let's get started with number 30, Dragonborn Champion, up $2.10 to $12.96. That's a 19% increase. This is from the Adventures in the Forgotten Realms Draconic Rage Commander deck. Tarkir Dragonstorm has brought us a lot of support for the dragon creature type, so many players are building dragon typal commander decks right now. This is one of many cards going up in price this week as players look to put together these builds. You see Dragonborn Champion and commander decks around Miram Sentinel Worm and the Dragon, for example. Many players are also grabbing it in order to upgrade the Tarkir Dragonstorm Temur Roar commander deck, while others are putting Dragonborn Champion and fresh builds around a couple cards from there, your Rennie of the Unwritten, and the front-facing commander, Eshki Temur's Roar. Number 29 is Dragonlord Kolaghan from Dragons of Tarkir. It goes up $2.45 to $10.99, that's a 28% increase. This is the only wide release printing of the card. There have been 2 Secret Lair copies, one of which is in the new They Grow Up So Fast Secret Lair, but nevertheless, this original copy is still climbing. Players are getting this for Commander Dragon decks. Even if the triggered ability won't help you in that format, it's still a dragon that gives all your other creatures haste. You see Dragonlord Kolaghan in builds around the Dragon and Tiamat, for example. I'm even seeing some adding this to Commander decks around a new card from Tarkir Dragonstorm's main set, Nuriv, Heart of the Storm. Also, Dragonlord Kolaghan will play well with another card from the set, that is Dracogenesis. Dumping a bunch of dragons on the battlefield with haste could really catch your opponent off guard. Number 28 is Dragonhawk Fate's Tempest, up $2.96 to $8.93, that's a 50% increase. Third verse, same as the first, this is another card being pushed by the dragon support from Tarkir Dragonstorm. You see it in Commander Dragon builds around Miram Sentinel Worm, or Rivez of the Claw, for example. It also appears in the Dragon decks in both regular and 1v1 dual commander. Additionally, players are getting this to upgrade the Temur Roar deck, while others are adding it to fresh builds around Rennie of the Unwritten and Eshki Temur's Roar from there. Dragonhawk Fate's Tempest is another card appearing in commander decks around Nuriv, Heart of the Storm as well. Plus, it synergizes with Dracogenesis. Number 27, Mirage Phalanx, up $3.16 to $4.99, that's a 173% increase. It's one of the Innistrad Crimson Vow commander cards from set boosters. This has been seeing a little commander play in builds like Winota Join Our Forces and Itali Primal Conqueror, for example. Even recently, some players have been putting it in their new Nuriv Heart of the Storm commander builds. But the reason Mirage Phalanx is spiking now is because of the commander decks around the new Marvel Secret Lair card, Deadpool Trading Card. These builds are trying to make token copies of Deadpool as much as possible, and they run cards that prevent you from having to sacrifice or exile your tokens like the Master Multiplied, which we saw earlier. Left unchecked, Mirage Phalanx, soul bonded with Deadpool when the Master Multiplied is in play, gets out of hand quick. Number 26, Rampant Rejuvenator, up $3.16 to $8.31, that's a 61% increase. This is from the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty Upgrades Unleashed commander deck. You see it in a few different commander builds like Gargo's Vicious Watcher. Recently, some players have been grabbing it to upgrade the Aetherdrift Living Energy commander deck, while others have been putting it in fresh builds around the front-facing commander from there, Saheeli Radiant Creator. So that's what reduced the number of copies of Rampant Rejuvenator in the marketplace, and now the price is trending up as Tarkir Dragonstorm gives us a card that plays very well with it, that is Warden of the Grove. Okay, quickly before we look at our next 10 cards, I do want to remind you that this video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Right now, you can order Tarkir Dragonstorm products, you can pre-order Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy products, or find a whole bunch of other great items on their website, Magic related and otherwise. Remember, if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. And if you're looking for a direct link to their site, just check out the description or the comment section below. I do have links posted in both of those places. And now, without any further ado, let's get to the next 10 cards. Number 25 is 6. It's up $3.41 to $10.40, that's a 49% increase. This card is seeing play in a few formats, including Modern, Commander, and 1v1 Dual Commander. First off, the Modern format has been shaken up recently with the banning of Underworld Breach, and you typically find a copy or two of 6 in the popular Amulet Titan decks. In Dual Commander, this is in several builds, including Azusa Lost But Seeking, as well as Slimefoot and Squee, for example. Meanwhile, in regular Commander, 6 is being played quite a bit. It's in builds around Winter Cynical Opportunist and the Necrobloom, for example. and as you can imagine, Tarkir Dragonstorm is causing this to see even more play in the format. Some players are including it in builds around Taval, Arbiter of Virtue from the main set. You also see some getting this to upgrade the Sultai Arisen commander deck, while others are including it in new builds around a couple cards from there, Taval the Balanced Scale, and to a lesser degree around the front-facing commander, Kotis Sib-Sig Champion. Down 20 spots this week to number 24, Orthion Hero of Lava Brink. It is up $3.50 to $15.51, that's a 29% increase. Sometimes you see this as a commander, but it has been appearing in the 99 of several builds in the format, like Kuragast Erupting Nullkite and Obeka Brute Chronologist, but yet again this is spiking because of the play it's seeing in new commander builds. It's showing up in decks around Zurgo Thunder's Decree and Nurav Heart of the Storm from Tarkir Dragonstorm, but the card pushing it the most is Deadpool Trading Card. Players want Orthion Hero of Lava Brink in their Deadpool builds along with the Master Multiplied. Number 23, Cavern-Hoard Dragon, up $3.55 to $19.99. That's a 22% increase. This is from the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth Hosts of Mordor commander deck. It's found in the 99 of several commander decks and not just dragon builds. You see it in decks around a card from its pre-con, for example, Sauron Lord of the Rings, but of course it's also in dragon-centric commander decks, and obviously those are getting a lot of support from Tarkir Dragonstorm. A couple examples include the Dragon and Miram Sentinel Worm, plus I'm seeing a lot of players looking to upgrade the Temur Roar commander deck with Cavern-Hoard Dragon, while others are adding it to fresh builds around a couple cards from there, Ireni of the Unwritten and Eshki Temur's Roar. Number 22, Life of the Party, up $3.77 to $10.22, that's a 58% increase. This is from the Streets of New Capenna Cabaretti Cacophony commander deck. It's been in a few commander builds like Isshin 2 Heavens as 1 and Kit Kanto Mayhem Diva from its pre-con, for example. However, Deadpool Trading Card is what's causing this to spike. Life of the Party is appearing in some Deadpool commander builds since it leans into the sabotage your opponent portion of the Deadpool strategy. You're also seeing Life of the Party in Xantcha Sleeper Agent decks that are also running Deadpool. Number 21 is Sarkhan Unbroken from Dragons of Tarkir, up $3.93 to $21.93, that's a 22% increase. Why would this possibly be spiking now? Oh yeah, because of the dragon support that has come along with Tarkir Dragonstorm. The dragon commander builds that run this are seeing more play now, including the Dragon, Miram Sentinel Worm, and Tiamat, for example. Additionally, many players are getting Sarkhan Unbroken to upgrade the Temur Roar commander deck, while others are putting it in fresh builds around Ireni of the Unwritten and Eshki Temur's Roar from there. I'm also seeing Sarkhan Unbroken appearing in builds around a card from the main set, Ireni the Song Unending. Coming in at number 20 is Storm Chaser's Talent, up $4 to $14, that's a 40% increase. This card has been seeing play in multiple formats since its release, but Tarkir Dragonstorm is making it heat up again. Let's start with Standard. It's all over the place there. Esper Self-Bounce, Dimir Self-Bounce, and Temur Floodcaller combo, but you also see Storm Chaser's Talent in several decks that have gotten a push thanks to a new card from Tarkir Dragonstorm that is Kori Steel Cutter. Those decks include Is It Aggro, Is It Prowess, Grixis Self-Bounce, Temur Aggro, and Jeskai Aggro. In Pioneer, Storm Chaser's Talent is in Mono Blue Rona combo. Meanwhile, in Commander, it's in decks like Narset Enlightened Exile, but I'm also seeing some players getting it to upgrade the Jeskai Striker commander deck, while others are putting it in new builds around Elsha Threefold Master from there. Number 19, Xantcha Sleeper Agent. The one from the list is up 220 to 808, that's a 37% increase. The Commander Masters copy is up 316 to 599, that's a 112% increase. And the one from Commander 2018's Nature's Vengeance deck is up 423 to 959, that's a 79% increase. This is a fairly popular commander, and it's been in the 99 of a few different decks like Blim Comedic Genius and Laughing Jasper Flint, for example, but we already touched upon the reason that this is spiking now. It's appearing in many of the Deadpool trading card commander builds, and to a lesser degree, Deadpool is appearing in Xantcha decks too. Number 18, Shield Sphere, up 449 to 1411, that's a 47% increase. This one print wonder has seen a little commander play in the past. It can show up in decks around cards like Arcades the Strategist and Arkham Dagsum, for example. You even see it at times in Plagon Lord of the Beach's 1v1 dual commander builds. But it's Tarkir Dragonstorm that's making this already scarce card jump. Turns out that this is a good upgrade to the Tarkir Dragonstorm Abzan Armor Commander deck, while others are putting in fresh builds around the front-facing commander from there, Velothar the Steadfast. This is a little bit of foreshadowing for some of the cards you're going to see in Part 2 for sure. Additionally, to a lesser degree, Shield Sphere is showing up in commander decks around Betor Kinta from the main set. Down 2 spots this week to number 17, Molten Duplication, up $5.22 to $15.22. That's a 52% increase. This is from the Outlaws of Thunder Junction's The Big Score subset, so this card was more difficult to pull than a card from the main set. It has been seeing more commander play in several decks, like Rakdos the Muscle and Omnixilus Captive Kingpin, for example, but now it's getting additional play in the format thanks to a few new cards. Some players are putting this in commander builds around Zurgo Thunder's Decree, and to a lesser degree, Shiko Paragon of the Way from Tarkir Dragonstorm. I've even seen some players add it to the new Mardu Surge commander deck, while others have put it in new builds around the front-facing commander from there, Zurgo Stormrender. However, the big reason Molten Duplication is spiking now is because lots of players want this for their commander decks around Deadpool Trading Card. This is another way to make Deadpool tokens, and as we mentioned earlier, the deck has numerous ways to protect your tokens from sacrifice and exile triggers. Number 16, Lost Monarch of Ifnir, up $5.27 to $6.99. That's a 306% increase. This is from the Ether Drift Eternal Might commander deck. It has been in several commander builds like Wilhelt the Rock Cleaver and the Scarab God, for example. In fact, the Scarab God was reprinted in its pre-con. Speaking of which, Lost Monarch of Ifnir sees playing fresh builds around a couple new cards from the pre-con too. The front-facing commander, Temet Noctamon's Will, and Hashatan Scarab's Fist. But you guessed it, Tarkir Dragonstorm is the catalyst for this spike. Many players have been grabbing Lost Monarch of Ifnir in order to upgrade the Sultai Arisen commander deck, while others are putting in new builds around Taval the Balanced Scale from there. The two cards really do complement each other well. Alright, that brings us to the end of Part 1, and if you thought Part 1 was something, wait until you see Part 2 of this week's Magic the Gathering Market Watch. We'll be back with that tomorrow, but until then, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page, as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.